Today we're here to talk about my very first guitar hero, Ace Frehley. Now, Ace was a member of KISS on two different occasions. He joined the band during its inception in 1973, and he stuck around until 1982 when stuff was just getting crazy. KISS was more like comic book heroes to little kids than a rock band at that point. They'd become almost a parody. And he rejoined the band in 96 after the 1995 KISS Unplugged had a big response, and he stayed with them for 3 tours, maybe 4, not sure, and he stuck around until 2002. Now, Ace was nuts. He was an alcoholic, a drug addict, did lots of blow and lots of booze. I mean, he's a rock star, right? What do you expect? And I think it went a little something like this. You know, Ace, Gene and I just can't have you doing all this crazy stuff, wrecking cars and sneaking drugs in the back of your amps across the country lines. We can't have it. You're causing too much trouble. And I think he just got tired of it and left. You know, some people say he was fired, some people say he was quit. Who cares? Because the riffs and solos he played are undeniably cool. When I was a little kid, I saw him, fire coming out of his guitar and shooting rockets out of the end of it. I was blown away, man. What kind of kid wouldn't want to do that stuff, right? But the first riff I want to talk about is Deuce. Now, Deuce was the first song that Ace played with KISS. They played it at his audition and just told him to kind of go nuts. And reportedly, Deuce is Ace's favorite KISS song. And the part I want to talk about is the main riff of the song. There's a little stutter step he does there in the riff that's pretty cool. And that just comes from his unorthodox guitar playing. He was never trained or never had lessons. And he just has a really, really unique style that's a bit awkward. It sounds like this. Deuce is a great song. I love it, and I think you probably should too. The solo is really cool too. He does a lot of bends, One of my favorite KISS songs. Just got a catchy little hook to it. I like it. And, go check it out if you never heard it before. But I'm sure you have. The next song I want to talk about is Ace's signature song. I do believe it's the first song he wrote with KISS. It was on their first album, Cold Gin. Now it's got a riff that everybody's heard before. Yeah, that's it. Now that's cool and all. The part of the song I really like is the interlude in the middle that goes like this. Yeah, something like that. But it's the riff after the song that he uses. I'm not sure what song they go into, but he fades out of Cold Gin into this. Yeah. plays a little solo there, and then they go into something else. Goes into his big solo there, actually. Does some pretty cool stuff there. He does something that Gene used to call dinosaur bends. I dig that stuff. Really catches my ear. The next song I want to talk about, well, it's not so much a song, it's just a trick he does. It's a toggle switch stutter, and it's like this. And that's done by just turning your neck volume all the way down, your bridge pickup all the way up or wherever you like it, and then just using your toggle switch as a kill switch. How cool is that, right? That's just something he does in a lot of his songs. It's one of his signature little moves there, and something I always liked. But let's move right along. Got to Choose is another song that I like. Paul starts it off with this riff. But the part I like the most is a solo for that. It goes like this. Something like that anyway. But I like he does a lot of pre-bending in the stuff like that. It just always catches my ear. Sounds cool. It's never super hard or overly technical playing. Just something I really dig. And if you're watching this, you probably do too. The next song I want to talk about, Hard Times. I think that's off of Dynasty. Aside from the disco song, that's actually a pretty good album. And Hard Times, the riff goes like this. Just another cool sounding riff, you know. His playing's just pretty simple stuff, but he's got a great feel and just a weird guitar style, and I just always liked it. Probably my favorite song that they do from those days was She. It was actually written by, I'm not sure who, but it was actually before Kiss. Paul and Gene were in another band called Wicked Lester, and they had a song called She. Now it was readapted for the Kiss sound, but the riff, you know, starts like this. The Ace plays some really cool little solo licks in that song. Does a lot of pre-bends, like stuff like that. I just really like the sound of it. Like this is one of the licks I'm talking about. Yeah, let me try that again. Just like that tune a lot. You should go check it out if you've never heard it before. And moving right along, 100,000 Years. That's a pretty cool song. I like that too. Ace plays some pretty weird stuff in that. The main riff he plays goes like this. solo for the song's real catchy too. It's just weird. It doesn't sound like any other guitar solo you've ever heard. I'm going to do my best. It goes something like this. Anyway, I'm no Ace Frehley, but I still like to play his stuff anyway. And let's see, Strange Ways. That's probably one of my top 3 favorite Ace songs. And Peter Criss actually sings that one. But the riff goes like this. Good tune right there. I know I'm babbling on. It's just the way it's going to have to be for this video. Just wanted to get together with you guys and talk about one of my first guitar heroes. Who was your first guitar hero? Like to hear about it. I mean, I have lots of influences as far as playing guitar goes, but Ace was definitely my first. I want to talk about his solo album a little bit. Now, every member of KISS did a solo album in 1978. They were contracted to do so way back around the Dress to Kill time, I do believe. Now, I don't like all the albums. As a matter of fact, 3 of them are terrible. Paul's is probably closest to a KISS sound, but Ace's album was fantastic. He had Eddie Kramer, who produced Jimi Hendrix, a couple other really, really famous players, and he got Eddie Kramer. Now, Ace Frehley played all the instruments on the album and did the vocals, had some backup singers, and he had Anton Fig do the drums, who at that time was the drummer for The Late Show. And the opening riff on Rip It Out just grabs your attention right away. It goes like this. Good tune. Grabs you right away. Just comes out kicking ass. Let's see. That album also, coincidentally, I believe it's on the song Ozone, has the very first recorded synthesized guitar. And it worked for the song. Never knew that until fairly recently. But some of the other great riffs on that are Speeding Back to My Baby. Great opening for a tune. It's a shuffle, you know. Or maybe it's... I think that's it, actually. But just a cool shuffle. You know, you don't hear too many shuffles in rock and roll. ZZ Top uses them quite a bit. Snowblind is another good one. Just some cool riffs. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to film something cool, and that's my definition of cool, is Ace Frehley. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for hanging with me. We'll see you next time.